Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about mushrooms. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. When we think of the largest living organism on our planet, many of us immediately picture a massive blue whale swimming in the deep ocean, or perhaps a towering redwood tree reaching out to the sky. But would you believe the true heavyweight champion of the world is actually a humble fungus hiding right under our feet in the forests of Oregon? They say this single mushroom system is actually larger than a pod of whales and can cover 2,000 acres. What do you think? Is this an actual fact or just too good to be true? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is mycelium. That's mycelium. Mycelium is the vegetative part of a fungus consisting of a network of white thread-like structures called hyphae. While the mushroom we see above the ground is the fruit, the mycelium is the actual body of the organism living underground or inside rotting logs. You can think of it like an iceberg. The mushroom is the small tip we see, but the mycelium is the massive, complex structure hidden beneath the surface. The word mycelium comes from the Greek word mykes, meaning fungus. This root is also where we get the term mycology, which is the scientific study of fungi. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about mushrooms. Number 1. Believe it or not, mushrooms can actually create their own rain. Mushrooms release billions of tiny spores that act as seeds for rain clouds. These microscopic spores are launched into the air where they serve as cloud condensation nuclei, which are the solid surfaces water vapor needs to cling to in order to form liquid droplets. As these spores float high into the sky, they attract moisture from the humid forest air until they become heavy enough to fall back to the earth as precipitation. Without these biological particles, it would be much harder for thick clouds to form over dense tropical rainforests. It's kind of amazing how such a small organism can influence the massive weather patterns of our planet, literally from the ground up. But it's not all about the weather. This rainmaking ability is actually a brilliant survival strategy because mushrooms require a damp environment to thrive and release even more spores. By seeding the clouds, the fungi are effectively ordering a delivery of water to ensure the continued health of their underground mycelial networks. And the cycle creates a powerful feedback loop where more moisture leads to more mushrooms, which in turn leads to more rain for the entire ecosystem. Scientists studying the Amazon have found that a significant portion of the region's rainfall is actually triggered by these tiny fungal travelers. Number 2. Some mushrooms can glow in the dark. There are over 70 species of bioluminescent mushrooms that emit a steady, eerie green light known as foxfire. This natural glow is caused by a chemical reaction involving a substance called luciferin and an enzyme called luciferase, which is the same process used by fireflies. Ancient people often used these glowing fungi as natural lanterns to mark trails through dark forests at night. Some of these species are so bright you could actually read a book by their light if you gathered enough of them. Scientists believe the mushrooms glow for a very specific evolutionary reason related to reproduction. The light attracts nocturnal insects like beetles and flies that are looking for a place to land in the dark. As these insects crawl over the mushroom, tiny spores stick to their legs and bodies. When the insects fly away to other parts of the forest, they carry the spores with them, helping the fungus spread to new locations. It's a brilliant and beautiful way for a stationary organism to spread across long distances. Number 3. Mushrooms are the only produce items that can naturally produce vitamin D. Just like humans, mushrooms have the unique ability to produce vitamin D when they're exposed to ultraviolet light from the sun. Most fruits and vegetables don't have this capability, making mushrooms a vital source for this sunshine vitamin for people who don't eat meat. They contain a compound called ergosterol, which converts into vitamin D2 when hit by UV rays. This process continues even after the mushrooms have been harvested and sliced. If you want to boost the nutrient content of your mushrooms, you can actually place them on a windowsill in the sun for about 15 to 20 minutes before cooking. Research has shown that even a short burst of midday sunlight can significantly increase their vitamin D levels. This makes them an incredibly functional food, especially during winter months when people tend to get less sun exposure. Number 4. Fungi are being used as earth cleaners to eat plastic and oil spills. A fascinating field called mycoremediation uses the powerful enzymes of mushrooms to break down complex pollutants into harmless substances. Some species, like the oyster mushroom, have been successfully used to clean up soil contaminated with diesel fuel and oil. The mycelium literally digests the hydrocarbons in the oil, turning the toxic sludge into organic matter. After the process is complete, the soil is often clean enough to support the growth of grass and flowers again. Probably even more amazing, though, is a species found in the Amazon rainforest called Pestaloteuthis microsporia, which can actually eat plastic. This fungus is able to live on polyurethane, the main ingredient in many plastics, and it uses it as its primary food source. What makes this even more potentially amazing for all of us is it can do this in an anaerobic environment, a space without air, meaning it could potentially live at the bottom of landfills. This discovery has given scientists hope that we could actually use fungi to help solve the world's growing plastic waste problem. And our 5th and final fun fact for today: trees use mushrooms as a fungal sort of wood wide web to talk and share food with each other. Underneath the forest floor, mycelium forms a symbiotic relationship with tree roots called a mycorrhizal network. Throughout this network, trees of different species can actually communicate and send warnings about drought or insect attacks to their neighbors. If one tree is struggling because it's in the shade, the fungal network can actually divert sugar and nutrients from a healthy tree to the one in need. It's a massive cooperative society that exists right under our feet. This wood wide web also allows mother trees to recognize their own saplings and send extra nutrients to help them grow. Without these fungal partners, many forests would not be able to survive harsh conditions or recover from disasters. The fungi benefit from this arrangement too. They take a small portion of the sugar the trees produce through photosynthesis. It's one of the most successful and widespread partnerships in the history of the world. Now for some news you can use. When you're cooking mushrooms at home, a lot of chefs will tell you, stop washing them under the kitchen faucet. Mushrooms are very porous, almost like little sponges, so they soak up water very quickly. If they get too wet before they hit the pan, they'll steam instead of browning. You'll end up with a rubbery texture instead of the delicious, crispy golden brown finish you want. Instead, use a damp paper towel or a soft brush to gently wipe away any bits of dirt or peat moss. If you absolutely must rinse them, do it quickly and pat them dry immediately with a towel. When you cook them, make sure the pan is nice and hot and don't crowd them. Give them plenty of space so the moisture can evaporate. This allows for that Maillard browning reaction to occur, which is the chemical process that creates the savory, umami flavor people love in their mushrooms. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, is it possible that a mushroom in Oregon is actually the largest living organism on Earth? Well, believe it or not, that's a fact. In the Blue Mountains of Oregon, there's a specimen called Armillaria ostoya, commonly known as the honey mushroom, that spans over 2,385 acres. This gargantuan fungus is estimated to be somewhere between 2,400 and 8,000 years old, meaning it's not just huge, it's also one of the oldest living things on the planet. Most of the organism is a massive underground mycelial network that slowly grows through the soil and tree roots. Now, if you were to dig it up and spread it across the surface of the earth, it would take up about 1,350 soccer fields. While the idea of such a giant fungus growing under the surface of the earth might seem like something from a horror movie, it's just a natural part of the life cycle. It does kill some trees, but in doing so, it creates gaps in the canopy that allows sunlight to reach the forest floor, and that creates opportunities for new growth. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about mushrooms with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.